Hi guys, and welcome to our Tribe Education series. Now the goal of this video series is to educate you guys on the methods that we use at Tribe to get the transformations that we do with our clients. Bear with me as we go through these modules. I am gonna look down at my laptop because I've got to follow through the PowerPoint that you guys are gonna see over here, and I've got to relate back to that. So I look like I'm looking down, looking up. Bear with me. Today, we're gonna get started with module 1, which is progressive overload. Fundamentally, how we build muscle. Module 1, progressive overload, why your training has to keep changing and what actually counts as progress. The principle, your body only changes when you give it a reason to. The one rule that rings true across the board is if the stress on your body doesn't go beyond what it's already handling, it has no reason to adapt. Do the same workout forever, get the same body forever. No new stimulus, no new tissue. And that's why training here at Tribe with all of our clients, we always continually push them to go a little bit heavier if they can, add an additional rep to provide that new stimulus to ultimately allow them to change their physiques. What this means for you, progressive overload is simply doing this on purpose. Small, planned increases in demand instead of leaving it to chance. For muscle growth specifically, that means gradually increasing tension, density, or total work you place on a muscle over time. No overload, no adaptation. Your results are decided by how well you create it, recover from it, and track it. There are 5 ways to progress, and it goes beyond just adding weight. The 5 main pillars are load, volume, density, frequency, and execution. Load is more weight on the bar, the most direct lever. Volume is more total sets and reps across the duration of a week, up until a point, and we'll get into that later on in a further module. Density, same work, less rest between it. Frequency, training a muscle more often per week. And execution, better range, control, and muscle recruitment. The real driver of growth, it's tension, not just effort, okay? Junk volume, and this is something that we're all guilty of doing at least once in our lives. Sets done without real tension on the muscle, they cost you recovery and give almost nothing back. Now this relates to random workouts that you've seen online that your favorite influencer is doing. You've been inspired by it, you just decide to do it one day in the gym, but there's no real purpose. You like the idea of it, so you gave it a go. That is not something that ultimately you can track. It's not something that you're looking to do long term. It's a novelty, and we want to go back to the actual thing that matters, and that is our training program, our core program that we're following to ultimately get us the result with our physique that we want. What your muscle actually responds to, tension under load, is what switches on muscle growth. It tells the muscle fiber to start building, not just that it got tired. And in the gym, that means control of the lowering or eccentric phase of the movement. That is the way down on a bench press, or the way down on a squat, or the way up on a lateral pull down, where the muscle is fully lengthening. Don't just drop the weight. Stay in control at both ends of the rep, especially in the stretch position, and more reps with sloppy form does not mean progress. Ask, was the muscle truly loaded, or did momentum do the work? And again, we've all been guilty of this. We decided to lift a little bit heavier one week compared to the week prior. And in order to be able to do that, we've sacrificed form, whether that be not going as deep on our incline dumbbell bench press or not going as low on our squats, just to be able to shift more weight, because the idea of more weight equals more muscle, right? That's not the case. Manage your expectations. Progress slows down, and that is completely normal. If you're new to training, you're gonna progress almost session to session. Your body adapts fast because everything is a new stimulus. More weight, more reps, week after week, and that's to be expected, not a sign that you're special. As you learn how to move well, you're not only gonna gain more muscle tissue, but you're also gonna get better at the movements that you're doing, which means you'll inevitably be able to lift more over time. That first couple of months, even up to 6 months of you being in the gym, most people refer to it as newbie gains, you are gonna see pretty linear progress. If you're an experienced lifter, progress is measured in months and not in days. Gains come from small, planned increases. Think 1 to 2% more load or slightly better execution, tracked over whole training blocks, not chased daily. So if you see progress in week 1 and you don't see progress in week 2, but then you see progress in week 3, but not in week 4, over the course of a month, that's still progression. That's still good. And that is to be expected as you get further on through your lifting career and as you become more advanced. How we track it: consistency beats one brutal session. One brutal workout that wrecks you for a week isn't progress, it's a withdrawal. Real progress is the small, repeatable steps that you can also do again the next week. That means that we're looking to stimulate muscle growth. We're not looking to annihilate. We're trying to limit muscle damage, ultimately stimulate muscle growth, to allow us to continually progress as often as possible. You want to log your workouts, log it, track load, reps, sets, how hard each set felt, every session where possible. Trend it, look at your average over weeks, not your single best or worst day, and repeat it. If you can't do it again next week without breaking down, it wasn't sustainable, and that's okay. In some cases, that is just the way it is, but that doesn't mean the following week it can't go back up, and again, eventually, it will become more sustainable over time as long as you're training correctly. The takeaway from this module is everything else you learned today serves this one rule. Volume, intensity, frequency, and effort are all just levers you pull to create overload. They are not the goal in themselves. Without measurable, progressive overload, changing those levers around is just noise. No amount of variety or novelty replaces consistent, trackable progression over time. Again, it's a roundup here. I'm trying to get across to you guys is we're looking for small incremental improvements in the movements that you're doing in the gym over the course of months to be able to see a good level of muscle gain, something that's going to really change your physique. And for a lot of people that change their training programs religiously week in, week out, that's a novelty stimulus and not something that's going to provide them the results they're looking for. Ultimately, we need a training program and we need to progress that up over time by doing the same thing weekly in order to be able to see significant changes in the physique. And in a further module, we'll talk about how we put together a specific program to get to a specific result. This first module is just instilling the basics. And that's it for progressive overload, and I will see you guys in module 2.